Hi everybody, welcome to Jin's Wall Street News. Last Thursday after the bell, Broadcom announced financial results for its second quarter fiscal year 2025 ended May 4th. The company expects its Q3 total revenue and Q3 AI semiconductor revenue to rise 5% and 16% respectively quarter over quarter. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported last Friday that the unemployment rate remained unchanged at 4.2% and total non-farm payroll employment increased by 139,000 in May, above expectations of 125,000 gain. 10-year Treasury yield rises to 4.5% after the jobs report on Friday. Dan Niles, the founder of Niles Investment Management, posted on X on Sunday, quote, "I continue to expect NVIDIA stock to be strong over the near term." Last Thursday after the bell, Broadcom announced financial results for its second quarter fiscal year 2025 ended May 4th. The company reported $15 billion of revenue for the quarter, up 1% sequentially, above its previously estimated revenue of $14.9 billion. Operating income decreased 7% from $6.26 billion in Q1 to $5.83 billion in Q2. When it comes to the guidance, the company expects current quarter's revenue to be $15.8 billion, up 5% quarter over quarter. Shares of Broadcom fell 5% Friday, but they are still up 71% from a year ago. Broadcom President and CEO Hock Tan said during the conference call, quote, "Q2 semiconductor revenue was $8.4 billion, with growth accelerating to 17% year-on-year, up from 11% in Q1. Driving this growth was AI semiconductor revenue of over $4.4 billion. Turning to our Q3 outlook, we forecast AI semiconductor revenue to be $5.1 billion. Now turning to non-AI semiconductors in Q2, revenue of $4 billion was down 5% year-on-year. Non-AI semiconductor revenue is close to the bottom and has been relatively slow to recover. Overall, we forecast non-AI semiconductor revenue to stay around $4 billion. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported last Friday that the unemployment rate remained unchanged at 4.2% in May. The labor force participation rate decreased from 62.6 in April to 62.4 in May. According to the establishment survey data, total non-farm payroll employment increased by 139,000 in May, above expectations of 125,000 gain. Healthcare and social assistance added 62,000 and 16,000 jobs in May, respectively, and employment in leisure and hospitality rose by 48,000 in May. However, employment in manufacturing decreased by 8,000. The US dollar index dropped after the US Department of Labor reported last Thursday that the number of Americans claiming unemployment benefits increased to 247,000 in the week ended May 31st. However, it goes up to 98.99 after the BLS announced last Friday that the U.S. economy added 139,000 jobs in May, above expectations. 10-year Treasury yield rebounded on last Thursday as oil prices rose, and then moves up to 4.5% as the jobs numbers came in stronger than expected in May, which caused oil prices to rise further. For the US stock market last Friday, S&P 500 rose 1.03% and the Dow Jones Industrial Average added 1.05%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq jumped 1.2%. I hope it's a breakout. Then Niles, the founder of Niles Investment Management, posted on X on Sunday, quote, "While I remain somewhat bullish in the near term, I'm wary of a significant sell-off as Thanksgiving approaches. I continue to expect NVIDIA stock to be strong over the near term, with the calendar year 25 PE of 35x, with numbers de-risked following the write-off. The potential risk I'm monitoring is whether the pull forward in demand due to tariffs and export controls catches up with them later this year. I would prefer to avoid another massive sell-off in the stock. If inference demand ramps strongly enough, NVIDIA might be able to avoid it. With AI getting embedded into other apps that consumers or enterprises use, inference demand seems to have reached a tipping point." Okay, this is the end of today's news. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.